This works because it's been a while. We are live in the internet. I think so. I see signals. Yes, we are good. This has been a while. We were in a hiatus, but now we're back. Look at Darren. He has some art now on his wall. He's now sophisticated. Me though, I am not. I just have these nice orange lights that make me look like I'm in some kind of weird room. And here we
I
are.
have a feeling we're going to get more sophisticated very soon.
Yeah.
I just had an idea,
What's your idea?
and I'm not going to discuss it before we release it
Okay.
to the people. But
Okay.
I have an idea, and I think we'll have some things behind us very soon. So, Anthony, I must ask you as I always ask you, what it do?
Let's see. I realized why Joe Rogan was addicted to Quake. It is probably a really fun game that nobody plays anymore, but it's still really fun. Like the new one, especially the new one.
I can't play shooters, man.
I know.
Not first person, and it's not that I'm not into them. Is that my physical capabilities are so fucking remedial
Mhm.
that it's entirely too frustrating. And of course, like that sounds like, oh, you just fucking gave up. But it's like, dude, there's only so many hours in the day.
Yeah.
And if I'm gonna spend any of those hours playing a video game, I've gotta put that in the realm where it is recreation and release, or it gets into the point where it will be time wasting entirely, right? So like if I only have a small amount of my time dedicated to that kind of activity, I can't spend any of it fucking just being frustrated and pissed off. Like it's stupid to me,
Yeah.
right? Like so I'd rather play something that's a little bit more intuitive to the way that my brain thinks and the way that my hands sync up to my eyes.
Hmm.
Um, but maybe just like small bits of exposure over time instead of like, all right, I'm gonna sit down and play this game I just bought, because like that's my shooter experience.
Yeah.
My shooter experience is I spend money on a game when it just comes out because my friends were like, you gotta get it, you gotta play it with us. Then I spend $60 to just spin around and look at the sky. Like that's what my guy looks like. My guy's doing this in the middle of the battlefield, and then he's getting shot immediately.
You know what?
Like what kind of? That's not a $60 experience.
Kind of figured out your solution, kind of, but it would be a testing thing. We would have to make it. You'd have to become a mouse and keyboard person, but I think it would be way better for you because you would have way more control with the kind of looking around sort of deal. Because you're,
Mouse and keyboard.
yeah, it's different. It's like it's weird, but like you're gonna be like, oh, I'm a god at this because I literally can just point and kill people.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's great.
I mean, I do have some narcissistic tendencies.
See, exactly.
Perhaps I want to be a god, Anthony. You knew exactly what to say.
It's like,
You were like, I know how to appeal to Darren's needs.
I want to be a god.
You could be a god, and I'm like, what? It's like you have my full attention now.
Yes,
Like,
yes, yes.
Step one to becoming a god: buy a console.
Buy no, no, no. Get rid of the console. Buy a
Oh, right.
computer.
Buy a gaming computer.
Exactly. We'll convince Casey to just buy it, and then you can just kind of slowly. I'll just talk shit to him slowly. Yo, what's up, you pleb? What's up? You just gotta say things like that, and he'll understand.
Try to convince my roommate to buy a gaming computer so that I can start to play games. You're like, first of all, Casey, when he realizes the amount of control he has, will want to do this.
Yes. 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 Yes.
That's so funny. Okay, so you played a little Quake and you got a little bit
It
addicted.
was it's kind of addicting. Like so basically my boss is a jerk, and so he wants us to have like this team happy hour, but nobody wanted to do it except for like 8 other people, and I got stuck to doing it, and so I was like, oh, we should make it kind of a little bit more fun than just talking on Discord and watching each other drink. So I was like, let's play video games or like do coding. Nobody wants to do work outside of work, so I guess we have to do video games. And we played Quake today, and everybody's like, oh, this is amazing. They just started talking shit. Fuck you, you fucking loser. Hey, come over here, you fucking loser. I'm gonna come over here and kill you. Why are you killing me? It's like, it was just great to just watch everybody freak out. And I'm like, oh, I'm actually kind of good at this thing. This is kind of funny. It's like, I can like
That's
this.
fantastic.
Yeah. What about you? What are you
When
up
you
to?
said, and then we just, we do coding. What I heard was we do cocaine.
We do cocaine.
I was like,
So we do
it's like,
we do
fuck.
that coke.
You
that
guys
white
get
stuff.
after it.
We do. Late nights and fake fights.
What about me, Anthony? The most important thing going on in my life right now, Anthony, and if you couldn't tell, my tone softened a bit there. Did you hear it?
I did.
I heard it.
Some
I
like
heard
a
my
woman.
tone soften up.
A woman
You know
texted
why?
him. A woman texted him.
Oh.
That's why. His
No.
tone softened because he saw a woman. He said, "Oh, excuse me, sorry. I just need to get that
No,
smooth
man.
guy voice on real quick. Get that.
It wasn't a woman.
that
It wasn't a
smooth
woman.
Thumb action.
But it is a female.
See, well, that's a woman.
A bitch,
Ah,
to be more exact.
that's rude.
A really, really tiny one.
Oh.
See, it's not rude, Anthony, because I'm talking about a puppy. We got a
You got a new
puppy.
dog?
And not really we, right? In fact, I'm the worst with the puppy. I'm not to be trusted or left alone with the puppy. I'm essentially I was my sociopath came out. It came out. It was obvious that I have emotional issues. So all right, let's discuss. Recently, my roommates, Casey and Angela. Casey is an MMA fighter and Angela is his girl. They decided they would get a puppy. They got a puppy.
What kind?
From the same breeder that Jessica, our other roommate, who is the best fucking flyweight in the UFC right now. We will prove that soon. Got it from the same breeder that she got her 2 Shih Tzus from. So we have another little Shih Tzu. But I'm talking like little, like puppy. So I'm not saying we got another dog. I'm saying we have a puppy. And puppies don't know how to do anything.
You wanted to kick that dog.
Puppies. No. That's not it at all. So, all right. I'm in love with this puppy.
Okay.
I let this puppy bite and lick my face, Anthony, which I don't let any dog do. No dog fucking licks my face. I can't say no to this little girl. I can't say no to her. So I remember hearing a couple of different things, and I wasn't sure of what the right thing to do was with the puppy. So the things that I heard were, like, you must keep constant watch on puppy. Like, you must have eye on puppy, period, right? That was one thing that I heard. Another thing I heard was that at some point you have to just let the puppy cry. Like, you're going to put the puppy in a crate or you're going to put the puppy in a confined area and puppy's going to cry. You just have to let that happen, right? And I think that there's some truth to both of those, but I don't know anything, right? So I don't know what the fuck the balance is. So this is how doing something that you think is the right thing can go wrong.
Yeah.
So I see puppy in the little like cage gimmick, right? And I hear puppy cry, and I'm like, oh fuck. So I play with puppy for a second, and I'm like, look, puppy has to learn how to be in this little environment. And the dishes need to be done, the trash needs to be taken out. I'm gonna do that. So I put my headphones in and I started doing those tasks, right? During the course of me doing those tasks, puppy moved the cage, broke a glass.
Ooh.
Right? So puppy could have gotten seriously fucking hurt. This is how I feel about it. Puppy could have gotten hurt, right? Now, probably not. Probably puppy couldn't have gotten hurt, right? But the way that I feel is that, like, my gross and fucking depraved indifference to puppy cries nearly caused death of puppy. That's how I feel. Now, I think I'm the only one that feels that way. But that's how I feel about it. And puppy was fine. Like, puppy was never actually in any true danger. But yeah, dude. And the glass was outside the cage. Like, it wasn't like the puppy was gonna be in. But it's still, something happened that I wasn't aware of. So that something could have been something else. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I've been trying to make it up to puppy ever since.
That's a dog.
But yeah, dude, the puppy in the house is like it's a new vibe. It's a new vibe. I'm not an animal person per se, right?
Yeah.
But if you look into little eyes enough times, unless you are truly, truly detached from like concern about other living beings, they work their way into your heart. And like, there's something so disgustingly fucking innocent and beautiful about the way that a puppy looks at you that you just have no choice but to love it. And like, it reminded me of some of the lectures that Jordan Peterson has given about like how, like, or not, the lecture wasn't about this, but during the lecture he mentioned that like we're fucking programmed to see cuteness as like big eyes, small mouth, helpless type, flailing type movements. We see those things, we immediately go, oh, and we want to take care of that thing. Like, we're wired to do that. That's how we don't smash babies against rocks. Because they want something that you can't provide them, or they're not yours, right?
Yeah.
Because that cuteness protects them from our fucking evil nature. And so, like, it worked on me too. The biological tricks, I'm not above them. I am but a mortal, Anthony.
So it's okay. It's okay to be immoral. There's people
It's
who.
not though. Earlier in this fucking podcast, we discussed that what I really want to be is a god.
Yeah, that's understandable. But gods are just men raised above all of us. So that's all they are. They're just flawed. They're just human beings that are just flawed. More
I
flawed.
completely agree.
Yeah. Yeah.
I completely agree.
That's why.
Like it's important to separate people from their actions or abilities, especially if your tendency towards like if your tendency is to exalt them. So like recently I met another coach
Mm-hmm.
and just seeing him work really really impressed me. Like I was moved. Like I was like, wow, this dude knows his shit and is putting it across at a level where it's much more real and social than other geniuses that I've interacted with. So like let's say that let's talk about Donaher since he's publicly said that he doesn't believe he's a good teacher.
I agree.
What he thinks is he takes someone from good and moves them to great,
Yeah.
right? And he also recognizes that he's not the most socially approachable person, right? I have found that most of the geniuses in the fields that I care about the most, whether it's music or fighting, whatever form of fighting it is at the time, they're not the most sociable people. They're difficult on some level. I met for the first time I met someone that I really believe was operating at a genius level at their job,
Yeah.
who is socially aware enough to meet the other person who they were interacting with where they were. Instead of being like, this is the information and however it comes out of my mouth is how it comes out and I don't really give a fuck how you take it because I know I'm right and like take it or leave it, fuck you. That's how a lot of geniuses behave. And I get it. They've spent hours and hours figuring out these problems. And they don't really want to hear your fucking low-level interpretation of it. They're sick of walking everybody through it and then watching them fail. They just want to get to the chase, like, do this. I get that. I just don't like it. I don't think it's the right way to behave. I don't think it's the right way to interact with athletes, and I think it limits the athletes that will fuck with you. I think if you're better at meeting people where they are, and somebody might need that, like, hey, go fuck yourself, this is how you do it. And somebody might be like, yo, hold my hand through every step, and then there's a full spectrum in between, right?
Yeah.
But you just don't see that reflected. And so to see that in person was refreshing. Like I've seen people meet people where they were, but not when they had that genius quality to them.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And I truly believe I have to interact with somebody like that, and I really want that interaction. I want more of that interaction, like real bad. I'm craving it, frankly. Because I don't think I need jujitsu mentors.
Yeah.
In a sense. But that's really just to like check in with, say, hey, what do you think about this? And like, you don't really have to be better than me or more knowledgeable than me to check in.
Yeah.
Like, you just have to know what you're talking about to some degree. And I can basically check in with like new ideas that I have, or I wonder if I can link this to this, and I can play. I don't really need, and I'm not saying I don't want or it wouldn't be helpful. I'm talking about need. I don't need a jujitsu mentor right this second. But I do need mentors in terms of how to translate the things that I know to people at the very, very top level of their game. Because what I'm taught to do for the last decade and a half, essentially, was take ideas that are working at a high level and get them into the brain of a person who's a regular fucking person, who's going to work the next day, who has kids to think about and all kinds of shit. Does that make sense?
Yes.
It's a different and nuanced skill set. And just like I had the luxury of being around amazing teachers, I want that same thing to be around amazing coaches, and see how they're getting their jobs done, see where they fail. You know, let them do some of that legwork for me so that I don't have to just like make it up as I go along. And since that, it sucks to like have to bring it back to stupid fucking coronavirus, but since coronavirus, my interactions with people at that level have been very, 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 very scarce.
Right.
And that's difficult. Like, namely, like every day when we first got here, 5 days a week, I got to interact with a person who I think is on that level, who does that same thing that I'm discussing. His name is Bo Sandoval, and he's a strength coach over at the UFC PI. And other than when Bo dropped off gear at my house, I haven't seen Bo. I definitely haven't gotten to interact with Bo the way I'm used to. Getting to see him interact with athletes, with my friends and other athletes, and seeing how he can do things differently and keep his personality doesn't shift. But like the way he communicates can. And it's a beautiful thing to see. It's a beautiful thing to see somebody in their craft like that. And that's what I aspire to be. And I just don't want to have to make it up. I want to be able to see what is working by people that I respect, by people that I like, you know? So, in a nutshell, that's what's going on with me. Puppies,
Yeah.
and new interactions with people who I really look up to.
Okay. For the new interactions thing, I would say that, well, not new interactions, going back to the idea of trying to give high-level people the details that you need, I think it's more or less the same of what you do already. It's just you have to be able to then just take it. You just have to, it's the approach that's different. It's because, like, you can spot things that are glaringly wrong. You can spot them that they're functionally wrong. It's just how can you approach saying that to that individual athlete? And it's like a person-by-person basis. Some people are more open to the idea of taking it. Some people, like you always say, it's a show-me culture. Show me that you can whoop my ass. If you can whoop my ass, then I'll take your information. And some of it's like it's just gonna, they'll see it, they'll take it, and it's gonna be over time. It'll eventually get brought in, but it's something they have to just kind of be like repetitive. So it's kind of you gotta kind of like, you know, pick the model for the situation. You can't I wouldn't say wait on those dudes, cause I mean, like I said, I'm not in the spirit, I don't know, but if you're like trying to talk to experts, if you're trying to talk to experts, I think you just have to kind of treat them like everybody else. And then when you see something, you're like, oh hey, like, you know, this is an idea I had, I don't know if it applies to you, but I saw you doing this today, and I'm just kind of, I want your idea of it. And then you can just be like, oh hey, oh okay, I like this cool idea, I like that, and they might just take it from you. Because like if you come at them with like not as like an expert, but as a person who's just, you know, sharing knowledge, people will always be more than happy to listen to you if they're somewhat intelligent. If you're a dumb person, if you don't listen to what everybody has to say, you can ignore it if you don't like it, but you should at least listen.
I concur, sir.
Yeah.
I like what you did there. Yeah. So now that we know what's going on with each other, Anthony, now that the audience is caught up on the lives of young Anthony.
Oh, speaking of one more
Coach
thing,
Keebs.
I passed my Calc 2 exam, 8 weeks with an A. Don't know how I did it, but yeah, it was amazing. Stayed up. I haven't slept I still haven't slept yet, and the exam's been over since Sunday.
You're like, I can't tell you how it happened.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, I did it.
Did it.
Good. Congratulations.
Thank you. Let's see what's going on in the world, because I know there was a lot of stuff that happened that we didn't talk about. Namely, I think one of the most important things that we never got to talk about is Dan Hardy.
Ah, yes.
And
well, there's been even a crazier thing that's happened now over in the UAE. But yeah, we can discuss a little bit of the Dan Hardy, Herb Dean saga.
Yeah.
Right? So it's my understanding that Dan Hardy, while on commentary, was yelling, "Stop the fight." And got in his feelings a bit about it. And Herb Dean approached him and was like, "Hey, was that you?" And there was some kind of discussion,
back
a
and
spirited
forth.
discussion.
Yeah.
Right? It didn't seem like, I don't believe that anyone threatened anybody. I don't think it got to any kind of crazy level, but that interaction did occur, and it was two men upset at each other chirping. Right?
Yeah.
So since that happened, Dana White has said if people come at a referee or an official, that they're going to be fired.
Right.
There. Like right then and there. And I think that there's I think that's a fair thing to discuss. Like if you approach an official, then you're trying to influence or possibly harm them. And neither of those things are acceptable, right? But if an official approaches you after hearing you yell, I don't know what would happen. Now, I don't think this is an issue in relation to Dan Hardy, because this was issued after that, right?
Yeah.
So I don't believe that Dan Hardy has been fired or anything like that. And
No.
if he has, that's news to me. I don't believe he has. And I also don't believe he's truly guilty of what Dana was talking about. But there was a case, and it wasn't inside the UFC. It was in a small organization in the UAE.
Yes.
Where a 45er went at Mark Goddard like super hard, and was eventually calmed down. But he had choked the guy. The guy tapped. He wouldn't release the choke. Mark grabbed him up, and then he pushed Mark and got in Mark's face. Mark disqualified him.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if Mark was going to disqualify him for the choke already, or if he disqualified him once he had been assaulted, essentially. And Mark Goddard is a giant dude.
Oh yeah.
He's a big guy.
He's a light heavyweight.
And this dude was a 45er. Like, and I've seen 45ers knock people out in training and shit. I've seen wild shit. But like, all right, so Big John McCarthy went on record saying that he believes that if Mark Goddard wanted to, he could have just grabbed that kid and slammed him on his fucking head.
Yeah. Dude's a black belt.
I don't disagree with that in any way. He could have. I believe he could have. But it's not his fucking. He doesn't have the ability to do that right now. We're not in a bar. We're at work. I'm at work. Like, if I walk up to a dude in Target and he's got a little red jacket on and I say, fuck you, buddy. You know what I mean? If I'm like, hey, buddy, fuck you. He can't just walk up to me and punch me in the face. I mean, he can.
He could.
But he's going to get fired. He's going to get fired. Now, he gets to leave with a piece of pride, maybe. But he's going to have to explain to people that depend on him where the fuck the check is. Right? And so when you push a referee, you put them in the same kind of a position where now he has to decide, is this worth protecting myself? Is it just my pride? Or am I in danger? And if I were in danger, can I hit this guy or choke this guy without losing my fucking job? Like, that's too many questions for him to have to answer right now. He's already trying to take care of too much. He's literally trying to take care of your fucking safety.
Yeah.
Now he's got to worry about his. That's some fucking bullshit. And so, like, if you put someone in that position, you should be fired fucking immediately. Agreed.
Yeah.
But I don't believe that that's what happened with Herb and Dan. I think it was unique to the fact that there was no fucking crowd. And that voice could be easily distinguished.
Right.
Right? How many British dudes are fucking yelling right now?
It's like there's only the guy's probably the
See what I'm
guy's
saying?
corner and then him.
Now, maybe, like, people can be heard, though, cage side. Like,
Yeah.
Otherwise, why would we be at major events, right? Like, why would I corner Jess in a co-main against the champion of the world if we couldn't be fucking heard, right? We can be heard cage side inside that cage. But I doubt that if you just heard someone yelling, stop the fight, when someone's being pummeled, that it would even register to you in that situation with a big fucking crowd. Because 100,000 people are going to be yelling, stop the fucking fight, or kill him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't react the same way. But when you only hear a few voices, you're going to be like, hey, man, what the fuck was that about?
That's true. It's like, what's up?
It's more natural to start that conversation now because everything feels more conversational. There's only a few of us in this fucking room, right? So I think that was a unique situation. I also think that Dan Hardy spoke out of turn. He should have said, they should stop this fight. They should stop this fight. Herb Dean should stop this fight. But when you say, stop the fight, that's a problem.
Yeah.
That's a problem. Like, you shouldn't be doing that. Like, you talking to a microphone right now, that's your job. Your job is to communicate to us, the audience. Your job isn't to communicate to that referee. That's not why they fucking hired you. And if that's not understood, then you should lose your fucking job too.
Yeah.
But, again, shit happens in the heat of the moment, and no true harm was done here. If anything, it really just brought attention to the UFC. Like, it didn't hurt anyone. No one got hurt here except for the poor guy getting fucking punched.
Yeah. I think what was more interesting than that was the fact that when Herb Dean had to got stepped in front of it and made a video about it, it was very interesting how he did not address the stoppage per se. It was more like he just addressed what happened, which I would have been like, that's a crucial part that I would have thought you'd have wanted to, argue about and say, hey man, actually I was right and here's why.
He should have done that. I think it was smart of him not to put
agree.
himself at risk.
I agree.
To like say like, oh yeah, here's why I stopped it. Like, no, don't do that. Like, as your attorney, I advise you not to fucking talk about that shit. Like, talk about anything else. Don't talk about your decision. Your decision's final.
I agree.
So discussing it now only opens you up to more scrutiny. It doesn't make mathematical sense in terms of like like how you would fucking structure an argument to just open up this whole lane of shit to talk about. Like that is irrelevant. It's literally irrelevant. The decision is the decision.
No, that's
It is
true.
already done.
Oh, yeah, no, that is true. So now I want to talk about because we never get to talk about what's his face, Chima, whatever his name is, Kazimi Khabib's cousin.
Kazmat Chimaev.
Yeah, that guy. So I think
Could be 2.0.
he has the potential to be a great star, not only because of his fighting style, not because of his fighting, but also of his antics. He has some very interesting antics that I think are that he can sell on. Because the fact is that he says the stuff he says. He's like, "Yo, I flew down to Ireland and I was looking for Conor, but they were protecting him. They wouldn't let me at him because he knows I would just take his head off and bring it back home with me, or whatever wild stuff he said."
Now, is there any truth to that?
Who knows? Who cares? Who cares? We're here to make money. We don't really care, do we? We like there's a dude.
No. I fucking care entirely. Now, I agree. We are here to make money. We are here to tell stories. Now, how much better is that story with an Instagram post of a fucking plane ticket to Ireland?
Oh, I'm sure he has a picture of that. I'm sure he.
That's what I want to see. I want to see. It's like if we're trying to get this money, you should put a picture of the receipt for your plane ticket, like your flight itinerary, on Instagram and been like, I was here from here to here looking for you. Where were you? Where were you when I came through? Show up like Yuji Anjo did to Hickson's gym with a camera crew. Like, I want to get it in. What's up? But hope it goes your way, because Yuji got fucking pumped. But yeah, like, do some shit like that. Dojo Storm and shit. Like don't just say I went to Ireland. I think that's a cool story, bro. Cool story. Show me a plane ticket. Show me evidence that you were in Ireland.
I don't really care, honestly, because it doesn't matter because the fact is that he's.
I get you.
Yeah,
cool story.
He can talk about it. He talked like he said that. Like he said those words. It wasn't like Ali, whatever his name is, talking for Khabib, saying, "Oh, hey, I'm gonna talk for you." No, this guy has his own mouth. He has his own thoughts. He can speak for himself. So that in of itself makes this very much more exciting. Because now you can just talk whatever you want. It's like, oh yeah, how many punches did you take your last fight? I was like, I only took 2, and I'm ready to fight again 3 times this year, and the year's not even halfway over.
Yeah, but who is he fighting right now?
Doesn't
is he
matter.
fighting people at the same? It does matter.
It doesn't matter because this is what it is. This is what it is.
Listen to Vince McMahon over here talking his shit.
I'm just letting you know. He's like, yeah, I've been learning some. I know about the fisherman's throw. I know what's going on. I know what's up. It's like all I'm saying is that if this guy can talk on his own and he beats people in dramatic fashion where it's just violence. So what if it's like, it's like it's a hump death. But if he's violent with that humping where it's just elbows, knees, just fists, just diving in. That
was a problematic statement, sir.
Ah, man, it's okay. He probably does that too. You just didn't see it that last fight.
He probably does.
Yeah.
That's a racist statement.
That's
also problematic.
Is it racist for him to shove fists up dudes' asses? I don't know.
I'm not even touching that.
Oh, I didn't know what you said. I had no idea. I had no idea what you're talking about. I'm like, I didn't know it was problematic. I thought people were allowed to do that. The butt stuff was legal. So, but
I'm gonna let you be the bad boy now.
I don't know
I'm a good boy now.
I don't know what's going on. But anyway, all I'm saying is that as long as he keeps talking like that and he just keeps doing stuff in spectacular fashion, where it's like, hey, I can do this thing. I can just take you down or whatever. And as long as he doesn't run into any footwork expert phenom where they're like, oh, that's super cool, you just come in one linear direction, I can just dance around you and just beat the brakes off of you. Otherwise, I think he'll be a great star. But if Justin Gaethje and Kamaru Usman keep hanging out together and keep, Justin teaches him how to fight like on his feet, then I think Kumar is gonna just grab that little Russian dude, whatever you want to call him, and just beat the brakes off him standing up.
I believe he's Chechenian.
Whatever he is, he can.
And he's living in Sweden.
Yeah, he is living in Sweden. That is true. But whatever he is, good for him. Hopefully he keeps it going. Maybe signs up for Abu Dhabi. Does some wild stuff there too. Just holds dudes down. Lets them know like, what's up. I can do this. I can do this to anybody. Like, don't matter what.
This all day.
He's like, who are you, Gordon? Who? Never heard of you. So I'll take. He's like, hey man, Gary, what's your face? I don't care. He said, eat this Russian mat. So that was.
I do think he presents some interesting fucking dynamics.
He does.
Right? Clearly a dominant wrestler with finishing power, and he's got a mouth on him.
And he's
and
strong.
people are listening to him because of that 10-day thing,
Yeah.
right? Like after the first performance, it was impressive, right? But we didn't get all this shit. There wasn't all this Khabib 2.0 shit that was like covering the internet. Everybody was talking about him. No one's talking about him. It was just like, well, that was fucking impressive.
Yeah.
We moved on. But then 10 days later, he whoops another man, takes 0 strikes in the process of doing it. All right, that's impressive. Now you've done something extraordinarily difficult in a very short period of time. You've won a UFC fight 2 times in 10 days, during which you took essentially no fucking damage.
Less than 5 strikes total.
No damage. You took no damage.
In 2 fights.
So you essentially went to the grocery store, and on your way home, you picked up 2 UFC wins.
Yeah. I would just
Like, what in the fuck? What in the fuck? But some guys got it like that, and maybe he does, but maybe he just has a big skill gap against the guys that he was facing. So we'll see what happens as his career progresses. Is he a flash in the pan? I don't think so. But I'm not on board on this train just quite yet, but I'm curious. I'm definitely looking at the times that the train leaves the station. I'll tell you that. I'm like, what? Train leaves at, all right, man, I'll happen to be on the platform, but I don't know if I'm getting on. Like, I don't know if I'm getting on the train. But it's an interesting situation. My eyes are on it.
My eyes are on it too. I'm excited. I'm hoping that the next fight.
No, you're on the train.
Oh, I'm definitely on the train. I'm ready for it to take off.
I can see it in your eyes.
I wish he just didn't talk so much shit so quickly. Maybe I could have made some money.
Your boyfriend is what you said. That's what I heard.
Because he threatened your boyfriend. I'm sorry.
Hey.
You showed up in your boyfriend's crib. You showed up in your boyfriend's crib. Like, what it do? Where you at? I'm here for you.
Nowhere. I want to see a plane ticket.
He said, I got my passport right here.
You're trying to bully my boyfriend. I'll show up to your fucking crib.
He said, I came here to slap him. There's a picture of me photoshopped.
It's so silly. But yeah, he's an exciting figure.
There's another thing I wanted to show you. We can talk. I don't really want to talk about JoJo because that's very sad. But
it's sad.
It's sad because she lost consciousness during her fight. She had to go get rushed to the hospital after a fight. I
didn't know this.
Yeah.
Tell me this.
So let's see. After her first round loss, JoJo fainted and was taken to the hospital with a lowered heart rate. So right after the fight, she fainted and had to go because her heart rate dropped.
And what was the cause of this?
It's from what I've seen so far.
Do armbar stop your heart now?
I don't know. I think it might be one of those.
I'm like, holy shit!
I don't know, but they said they haven't.
I gotta go drill.
They have not brought it up though. They have not talked about it yet.
Well, I hope that she's okay.
They say
I'm only kidding.
Commission.
It's a good joke.
Commission thinks it's what's it called? Anxiety issues maybe, but we don't know for sure.
Okay. Well then, all the best. All the best.
Let me see. What was the one I wanted to show you? Oh, it's like, have you seen the weird promo that what's his face put up? Paulo Costa?
No.
Oh my god, it's so weird. Like, I swear, like, this dude is like,
show it to me.
He wants to shove.
Just so we're clear, I've got a hard out because I gotta teach.
Okay.
We got about 15 minutes.
That's fine. This can do. Let's see, where is it? Because it got super creepy. I was like, yo,
wait,
dude.
I apologize for saying hard out. What a cunt I am.
No, it's okay. Right now, when you see this video,
Anthony,
you might agree.
Got a hard out. I'm a really important guy.
You might agree with me when you see this video about this. Speaking of hard outs.
Whoa.
All right, so there we go. So
what the fuck?
Yes, this is his promo video for the fight.
Is that just like pictures of Naomi Campbell with Israel's face on it?
Yes, and then he does some face swaps too.
What is going on?
This. I gotta show this to the people as well. Let me stop it for a second so I can show.
All right, first of all, that's definitely Naomi Campbell. All right, so.
Swap screens for a second.
So I feel like if I were Israel, I would take that as an indirect compliment.
So
I'd be like, so you think I'm as pretty as Naomi Campbell? Like when you look at Naomi Campbell, your first thought.
I gotta turn it off. And there's like some saxophone playing in the background.
Dude.
Like, this is the promo though.
Is that Ricky Martin? What is going on? All right, so Paulo Costa is Ricky Martin, and Israel is any hot black chick who ever had her picture taken.
Like, what kind of nonsense is this? Let me play it again for the fans because this
He
just
doesn't have any friends.
like, I mean, with all the stuff he does with like the Roxbury stuff, where that weird outfit with him, that goofy ass coach from what's his face, from what's that dude?
Is he with the dude with the glasses too? Is he with the dude with the
I don't
white
know if
glasses?
I don't know if he's with him, but when they were at that fight where I think he was fighting Romero.
But they kick it.
Yeah, but he was with they kick it. Yeah, they kick it hard. I'm like, this is, dude. You guys are all a bunch of goofballs. Don't ever do that again. And
Yeah, I don't approve.
it goes.
But I mean, I can also understand wanting to see. I always do this, don't I?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't like that, but here's how someone could like it, because I'm just a fucking asshole, and I have to always think of the other perspective, especially if I don't agree.
You shouldn't. Not in this case. This case is like, what do
Well,
you?
no, if you were in a situation where you're faced with Israel, and Israel is young internet culture, so he's out here making memes, he's out here telling jokes, posting cool shit, getting lots of likes, lots of love, and I would guess that unless you know Paulo Costa personally, or you're Brazilian, you don't even fuck with him on Instagram.
No, but
Do you know what I'm saying?
I know the Brazilian culture though, and that would imply in Brazilian culture. That's why I'm like, this is some. That's why I said this is a little bit.
I don't know their culture, and I don't care to. What I'm saying is, if you were in a meme war, you would feel like you had to do something to retaliate. So you would call your only friend who knows how to do anything, and you try to put something together, you know? But that's a bad strategy. Like, stick to your strengths.
Yeah, just
Like,
talk.
stick to your strengths.
Yeah.
You're gonna lose the internet war. You're not gonna win the internet war. Don't enter into that race. Like, stay out of that race. You're gonna get fucked up out here.
Yeah, that is true. All right, let's jump into the fights, and then we'll have time for one piece of weird news.
Well, the weird news I want to hear about is whatever's happening back at home.
Okay. So
I need to know about that. So if we need to skip the whole fucking UFC,
oh yeah,
I'm
it's
cool with
it's
it.
basically that, like, they're basically like after, like, because they've survived 2 fires. Like Tommy's had
Slow
like
down.
I'm sorry,
You gotta tell 'em.
Tommy's, the restaurant in Covington, Cleveland, Ohio. It's
You son of a bitch. You're ruining everything. You son of a bitch. First of all, that neighborhood is called Coventry.
whatever it is.
And it's like a little bohemian strip, or at least it once was, where, like, if you were a hippie or a punk or a skinhead or just any disenfranchised person, that was where you hung out. And I grew up hanging out there. My last job before I started teaching jiu-jitsu was on Coventry. So I'm not quite a Coventry kid. I wouldn't describe myself that way. But Coventry is something that's close to my heart. Like, I literally couldn't see my grandmother without driving all the way through Coventry, that strip. So anytime I saw my grandmother, I saw Coventry. And I lived on Coventry for years. Like, that's my neighborhood. That's my set. So when I heard that a restaurant that had been there since I've been alive, called Tommy's, which literally has the greatest fucking milkshake in the world.
Mm-hmm.
In the world.
Mm-hmm.
And a diverse menu. Like, my favorite place to eat. In all of fucking Cleveland. Like, Tommy's is my spot. You're about to tell me that Tommy's is closed.
It's not gonna. No, it's not closed. So it's on its
Oh, Jesus.
it's on its last leg though. It's on its last leg. So luckily, because like their model was basically that they would do dine-in. So 90% of their like, stuff would be dine-in,
Yeah.
and 10% would be carry-out. But now COVID happened because they only had the indoor spot, and that's a tight, small space. You can't really have a lot of people in there, as
True.
is. And so luckily, I think there's a place called Panini's across the street from there, that closed down. And they get to use they're basically renting out their patio space from there. So what they're doing there is that they still have their restaurant Tommy's, but they're just basically having people sit outside in the patio and just go, walking across the street with the food and serving them like that, essentially.
Wow.
So that's like they're
Making it work.
Yeah, they're making it work.
Oh, Anthony.
Yeah, it's
I
close
feel so
though.
much better.
It's close.
I feel so much fucking better. I really thought my heart was about to break. Like, Tommy's, if you go through Cleveland, if you are from Cleveland, you owe it to yourself to go to Tommy's and get a milkshake at the very least. Get a CB or an MR4 for your boy.
Mm.
Don't be mad at me for what the MR4 is. Just fucking order it and eat it. It's fucking delicious. I know bananas are weird. You'll see. But you know what, Anthony? Pull up the goddamn.
I'm about to do it. I'm already on it right now.
I'll do it myself.
I'm
I'm doing it myself. I'm gonna let these people know what's on the MR4. MR4 Tommy's. Boom. While we're out here playing games. Like when I say it's like a diverse menu, like in a culture where everybody likes to be fucking healthy and vegan-y and shit, if that's your style, Tommy's is the best place you've ever eaten. The things that I would get the most, right, most often, the MR4, which is a spinach pie with falafel, cheese, bananas, curry powder, and sesame sauce. Now, why would you ever put those things together? I don't know. What I do know is it's one of the most delicious things that's ever been in my fucking mouth. It's fucking delicious. And then I would get a falafel sandwich called the CB, which is falafel, veggies, sesame sauce, cheese, sunflower seeds, and hummus.
There you go.
I'm hungry just thinking about that motherfucker right now. And I'm not like a plant-based guy.
Yeah.
Although we all are, right? Like, I'm not solely plant-based. I eat fucking plants. I don't just like look for helpless things to kill and then eat them with my face.
Nice.
But I do eat meat.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, Tommy's is near and dear to me. So I'm glad that they found a way to survive the pandemic. And it sucks that Panini's had to close. It sucks for them, but I feel like they have a lot of restaurants.
Yeah, so it'll be fine.
And if they had to close one, they'll survive. I hope that the employees of that place are straight. Like I said, I really fucking care about that area. Like I didn't just tattoo Cleveland on my shoulder and leave because I was done with Cleveland. I will never be done with Cleveland. I will never be done with Cleveland. That is my home. I love that place. And I want all the businesses that I've grown up with to fucking thrive into like the next and next and next generation. You know, there's no reason that Coventry can't survive my lifetime. There's no reason that Tommy's can't survive my lifetime, much less this fucking pandemic. So my fingers are crossed that they will all pull through this.
Yeah, I hope so too. I'm planning to go back there because the last time I've been there was literally, I can tell you the date because Google tells me when I was last there. It was like just I think the last time we were both there, June 4th, 2017.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Man,
So
I fucking miss that place.
You know what else scared me?
I'm nostalgic and hungry now.
Yeah.
What?
Is that when I looked up Lock, Stock, and Brisket, and I got scared because I thought because they were closed and you couldn't find it. I was like, what's going on? And it's like, oh, what happened was that they're getting so baller now is that they moved to a different location, and the dude who runs that location is opening up an Asian spot in the current location of Lock, Stock, and Brisket. So I'm like, he's balling out of control. He's like bringing Las Vegas food to Cleveland.
That's excellent.
Yes.
Yeah, that place is spectacular too. So if you're in the Cleveland area, hit that place up too. It's fucking great.
Yeah.
Hit me with your weird news.
Woman hid her I don't know what this word is, Ardmore grandmother's body in a freezer for 15 years to steal Social Security checks, police say.
I'm gonna guess that Ardmore is the town that they're in. Is that correct?
Actually, yeah, Delaware County section of Ardmore, yes.
Muscles.
Look at
all
that.
right, so
he reads. That's all.
That's not true. That's just not true. I wish it were. Like, I was reading an article today, which this sounds ridiculous. I just said it wasn't true, and then I said I was reading an article today. But while I was reading the article I was reading, I realized that I don't really read anymore. And I want to fix that. And I did pick a book.
Yeah.
Do you want to know what book it is?
Sure.
I'm going to read the Book of Five Rings. Are you familiar with the Book of Five Rings?
The Samurai.
Correct. I've never read it. And I think the time has come. I'm going to read the Book of Five Rings. It'll be the task that I've claimed on the internet I will do, which means I must do it, Anthony.
Yeah. There's probably better books you should read, but, that's good too.
What?
There's probably better books you should read, but, that's
Why?
good. I don't know. I feel like it's just going to tell you all the things that you already think about in your head. It's going to confirm a lot of thoughts that you already have. Like, I haven't read the book, but from what I've read about it, is that it's going to confirm a lot of thoughts that you already have in your head. So it's just like circular thinking. It's like, oh yeah, it's
All
like,
right, fair enough, Anthony.
yeah.
Fair enough. Do you have a suggestion?
Oh, I do. I told it to you last time I was there, but I can't remember the name. I gave it to somebody else. Habits, books. Let's see what was that book was. The Power of Habit. It's very interesting because they talk about all the things. Yeah,
All right. You son of a bitch, Anthony.
because
That's
it'll
what you're making me do.
that it's a better book for you. It's a better use of your time. Then I can say you should read Five Rings for like leisure. That's accurate.
Yeah.
But the Habit will definitely change your mind on like, oh, why things, why people are things. What's the other one? The Cleaner, is that what it is?
One book at a time, you prick.
I mean, there's two choices. So do you want the book about like how like habits and like how habits like shaped a society, like why Febreze didn't sell for a long period of time even though it was really good, and how they made it sell? Or do you want to know about like how to be like the closer, like Michael Jordan essentially? It's like a guy who was the mental.
Give me that one too.
Yeah, I have to find that one. I think it's an audiobook that I have. But
Oh, you didn't even read it, you son of a bitch.
I didn't read it, but I bought the book, so it's
No, I'm
coming.
kidding.
Let me see, what is it? But while that's going on, that one's not as exciting. I think this one's a better one.
I've got a book hookup, I got a in at the book style.
Nice.
So I will exploit that in. All right, so a woman in Delaware was murdered. Anthony.
You know what? That's not nobody really
Here
cares
we
about
are,
that.
just
That
discussing
that
books
doesn't
as if her death meant nothing.
that means nothing. That's a bad story. This is a better
Obviously,
one.
this is clearly a black life.
No, it's not.
But you're just saying doesn't matter.
It's a white
You son
lady.
Of a bitch.
Sue
All
her.
lives matter, Anthony. Don't you know that?
I'll give you a better one. Teens with AK jump wall into Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort while fleeing cops. That's a way better story, right?
That's a much better story.
3 teens who were running from the police while armed with a loaded AK jumped a wall onto President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago residence, according to police, who said the teens apparently had no idea whose property they had trespassed onto.
Holy shit!
So they had to use let's see, there was a mini AK-47 loaded with 14-round magazines inside a backpack they were carrying. Turned on his headlights as the teens were sitting in a parked car. Blah, 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 blah. I want to know what happened.
Here's my question.
Yeah.
If you go into a home owned by the President of the United States with a weapon, are you going to be charged as if you were threatening the president's life?
I don't think so.
Why not? If I were prosecuting, I'm
Because
just
they would be
being evil
dead.
right-
They would be dead. They wouldn't
I'm just being evil right now.
They would be dead though.
If I were prosecuting, I'd be like, these young men potentially put in danger the life of the president of this country.
Nah.
Yeah, dude.
Nah, because like you could say that. You could say that tomorrow.
He could have been chilling.
He's gonna be in Cleveland soon. Anybody could walk around with a gun and just accidentally say like, "Oh yeah, the president's gonna be here." So
If I'm just saying, you roll up on my property. I think that you threatened my life.
It's not really his property though.
I'm just saying.
It can't be his property.
Yes, it is.
No, because it's a resort. It means it makes money. It's a business, so it's
I
not.
thought you said residence.
No, it's his resort. It's the Mar-a-Lago
son of a
resort.
bitch.
Yeah. So, but
I
like,
thought you said residence. I was so much more excited.
if he was there though, it wouldn't be an arrest. They would just be
No,
shot.
if it's just something you own, it's just a resort. That's just a way that you draw money.
Yeah.
But I was thinking like it was his house.
No,
and they
no,
had
no,
no
no.
idea that he owned this house that they just ran up on.
No. That wasn't.
But no, they'll have enough charges. It won't really matter.
Yeah, but basically what they were saying is that if he was there, it wouldn't be an arrest. It would be bullets, a hail of bullets just shot at them. The Secret Service would have just killed them on the spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah,
Like, it's very sad. Anytime that someone that you can describe as a teen does something that could put them away for the rest of their life.
No.
It's just. It is. I think it is, dude. I'm not to the point where it's like, oh, those poor kids. Like, you won't hear me say that, right? What I think is all that fucking potential.
Yeah.
All that fucking potential.
And they used
Like,
that potential. It's like they did it.
Fuck.
They did it. They used it. It's like it's all gone now. You tapped out of
You're
it.
such a
Like
dick.
you used it. Like you got your gun. Like how'd you get an AK? I would have never been able to get an AK as a kid. That's a great potential right there.
That's a good question. It's like, where the fuck are you?
Yeah. I mean, I know it's Florida, but still, like.
Anthony, you son of a bitch.
It's like it's Florida. The book is Relentless. That's what it is.
Relentless.
Yeah.
It's the second book.
From good to great to unstoppable. Basically, they just like talk about how Michael Jordan and Charles Barkley, a bunch of psychos. Like how like dude came off a knee surgery and was like, you know what I can do? I can on one foot I can dunk the ball 10 times. Don't tell me what I need to do for your stupid rehabilitation. And the dude did it 9 out of 10 times, and his knee got a little wobbly. He's like, yeah, shut the fuck up, Charles Barkley. You listen about
All
my
right.
methodology.
I'm gonna talk to my book connect tonight,
Go for it.
and we'll see what I can get. I'm about to plug.
Your plug.
Give me these books.
Go to the dollar bookstore.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Or I can just go to Amazon.
You could.
Anthony,
Yeah,
it's so good to see you.
it is. It's good
The
to see you
hiatus
too.
was fucking tripping me out,
It was rough.
and I'm glad we're back to podcasting, and we'll be back very, very soon. So if this is a podcast that means something to you, leave a fucking comment. You know, subscribe to the motherfucker. Fucking tell a friend. Make them subscribe to the motherfucker. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Fuck with me. Fuck with Anthony. He's Mirvan on Instagram. He doesn't even want you to follow him. I do. Follow Instagram. Bother Anthony. Bother him every day. DM him. It will make me happy. Dick pics, please. For now, I must bid you adieu. Anthony, this is goodbye for real. Goodbye, Internet. XOXO.
All right, I'm gonna call you
Anthony.
after this though. I gotta call you, tell you something fucking serious,
Okay.
silly. All right, bye.